start every game this Gold Cup for the U.S. Jet is a throw. Bello. Injuries derailed him in 2019, but in 2021, number 21, seen his number rise up the ranks for the United States. Hoppy tried to get a piece. Leggett dances through, taken on by Zardes. Hoppy still for Bello. Robinson. Sands. Threads through, but lost by Williamson. Karam's off Leggett, driven forward by Rodriguez. Corona. For Funes Mori, twisting in the wind. Ahead to Hoppy. Touch lets him down, was trying to drag that through. Drags down on Araujo. And Hoppy continues to express himself vibrantly.
The opportunity to play off Eric Williamson because he is dishing out dimes all over the pitch right now. His movement coming forward, the ability to weight these passes perfectly. They're checking up, got the right amount of pace on them. That's the attacking midfielder they're looking for at this point in time. Play through Eric Williamson if you can.
Intercepted by Corona. Dos Santos. Clean from Robinson. He's put himself squarely in the mix ahead of World Cup qualifying. Brilliant by Corona. Corner, L3. Jesus Corona, 7 years at Porto. Corona, Zardes, Dos Santos, Corona, Pineda. Pineda got the cross away, Zardes. Dos Santos playing under unbelievable grief after the loss of his father on Thursday. Dos Santos once more. Still, Corona. Leggett. Salcedo thought he had taken that. Williamson wins a free kick for the United States. How soon are you considering changes at this stage?
I'm a little surprised that they didn't go with the change at the start of the second half for the United States. Really thought they would have gone with a more possession-minded man who could occupy space on the front line as well with the likes of Christian Roldan and the opportunities they've given him throughout the tournament. Gioacchini, of course, could come into the mix, but I do think there is fight within Areola and Hoppy. Even though we've seen glimpses of it, there is more to come. I would imagine the first change would come from Areola, even though he had the better chance between the two. Leaves Zardes. He's got a real good understanding of what's being asked defensively right now, and he is executing. That's the only change overall I'm considering. There could be a shout for Acosta in the midfield. Maybe he's having trouble tracking. I agree with that. That is also a big change underneath Leggett and Williamson, and I'm nervous to make that at this point in time within the game with players that, to be honest, not necessarily sure I feel 100% confident in Jackson Yule coming off the bench to step in there. Not now, not the 60th minute. You sit on the lead, fresh legs, that's one thing. But Acosta always has the understanding that it's defense first. He knows he's got to occupy the space, and then he can think about the movements going forward.
Leggett. Acosta hits Leggett once more. Threading all the way down to Arriola. He's nutmegging Araujo. Sent short of the stands. Don't get through a USA-Mexico game without a meg or two. Gold Cup final into the 60th minute. Ahead for Zardes. Zardes brings it down and rings it wide. Is the flag going to go up after all?
He kept it down. Is he onside? Obviously VAR here. He's on. That's the bottom run of Chaco Rodriguez that hadn't stepped up quick enough, that allowed Jazzy Zardes to set himself up.
Eventually the flag did go up. They allowed play to see itself out, and had the ball found the goal, certainly they would have checked VAR.
Would love to have seen that argument.
CONCACAF has made clear this is not a case of drawing lines. They look for clear and obvious errors as the law was intended. Corona slips it through. Funes Mori was looking for the vital touch.
Real good opportunities for Mexico throughout this game. One with Funes Mori, the other one was for Hector Herrera, both of which expected the ball to be into their feet, as opposed to a great ball played in by Corona out into the path. The reaction a bit delayed here on both fronts, neither of which end up with any sort of opportunity.
Nestor Araujo. Rodriguez. Poor giveaway. How quickly can Mexico get upfield? Sands atones. Alvarez kept it. Back by Herrera. Alvarez, well worked. In on Cannon now. The attempt by Pineda to play through. Gallardo comes up short.
Everybody's going to look at Sands there, but the ball into Acosta is perfect. Acosta just stopped his run. It's going nowhere else but to the 6. The problem is he was expecting this to move all the way off his 6 into a more advanced role, into someone like Jazzy Zardes, who was coming back in to help out, play off of.
Turned over to the U.S. 3 American attackers forward, but Talavera off his line before Arriola could get in the mix. 2 changes coming for the U.S. momentarily. They're standing with the 4th official. Leggett, the roar of the crowd disagreeing the referee's decision to play on. And Acosta misfires for Zardes. He's backing in on Salcedo. If you love the game, this final has been for you. It's had a bit of everything at this stage. Everything but a goal. Arriola. Vital intervention by Araujo. Herrera. Funes Mori. The U.S. dropping. Away from Funes Mori. Corona. Well done by Acosta. Corona once more. This time Leggett. Arriola. Zardes.
That's the recovery aspect that I was just talking about for Kellen Acosta, by the way, defensively, that you can't account for on any sort of box score or stat sheet. The IQ that exists for him to quickly drop in and step in to those defensive moves and thwart off the Mexican attack.
Good Ariola. Need an 8 contact from Chaco Rodriguez. First two changes for the United States will be two fullbacks. Sam Vines, Shaq Moore. Greg Berhalter throws a bit of a curve to everybody. Cannon and Bello start. How do you look back on the performance they put in 65 minutes?
Given the circumstances, not bad at all. Now, there's an understanding for these players, Mike, that isn't always going to be 100% clear because of the experience level and what's being thrown at them by the opposition. But good performances by both George Bello and Reggie Cannon. And for George Bello, moving into the final third, really built into this game.
Shaq Moore scored the game winner in the quarterfinal against Canada in 20 seconds. Sam Vines, rumored to be headed to Belgium from the Colorado Rapids, according to the local papers in Denver. And the third change, Sebastian Lletget comes off. Christian Roldan in. Played a massive role against Qatar.
You can't take Williamson off the way that he's playing. So it was either he or Lletget. Go with the latter. The understanding that defensively, Lletget had done a really good job of stepping in and helping out. If you want to go after this game, there's an understanding by Williamson of what he's capable of. Christian Roldan most likely playing the more advanced role here for the United States in that central midfield. But the two of them become the two-prong attack. Save the FIFA escapades for later.
For what it's worth, I think Hoppy is probably pleased with the fact that the U.S. will get to retake this free kick. All ages, all kinds of costume and dress. I've just been told it doesn't. Roldan! Over Zardes, over Hoppy. And Roldan makes an instant impact.
It's the game-changing move that you get with him coming on, though, because of the fact that he's always looking forward. It's great to have the distribution aspect in your build-up, but at the same point in time, the game changer that is Christian Roldan, and his understanding that at a moment's notice, he can pick out anybody on the front line. He's got the quality to do it.
Robinson argues the point. It's a free kick for Mexico. The brothers Roldan may have been among the bigger stories of this Gold Cup. Christian playing for the U.S. He's eligible to play for Guatemala or El Salvador as well through his parents. Same can be said for his brother Alex Roldan, who debuted for El Salvador in the Gold Cup and scored against Guatemala. There was a collision course that could have seen them meet before the final. Wasn't meant to be this time. Zardes strides. Calm under pressure. Edson Alvarez. This is a Gold Cup that in many ways saw the favorites reign supreme. The top 8 FIFA-ranked teams were the 8 quarterfinalists, and to few surprise, the U.S. and Mexico meeting in this final. But the underlying current of those quarterfinals, 7 of the 8 teams in the upcoming octagonal involved. Hoppy! Well, he's looking for history. He's looking for glory.
Should have been looking for Joszy Zardes on the turnover. No need to take a second touch here. Just play that ball right in. A bit unlucky, too, on the strike because This is going in upper corner the entire time. Good stuff by Nestor Araujo. Stops dead in his tracks with the understanding that the striker is going to have a go.
Corner for the U.S. Set pieces separated these sides before. Acosta. Talavera. And quickly now. But Devin, make no mistake, Tata Martino, Greg Berhalter, every manager that reached the quarterfinals knew that their country was still eligible to get to Qatar, including Qatar themselves, the only team that's qualified for the World Cup as the host country. Panama was sent home after the group stage. But everyone's aware we're just over a month away from the beginning of World Cup qualifying. There's a trophy to be attained here. The World Cup beckons, the qualifiers certainly do. For those who take advantage of this opportunity best. Well done by Sands. Robinson probing forward. Ball whipped across Bazardes. Hoppy now. Hoppy! Deflection, corner, USA. Hoppy has a flair for the dramatic. It comes again and again.
He's also got a calmness within his disposition that isn't rushed when sometimes it needs to be. Watch how cool he is to cut this back across, get it on the left foot, and then another recovery. First one was Araujo. This time around, Edson Alvarez. 2 in the span of 5 minutes for Matthew Hoppy. He's right there.
Whistle blows before Acosta makes contact. Acosta. Sky toward Vines. And a heavy collision. And Herrera's going to be shown yellow. The U.S. is arguing that that high boot was a dangerous one. And for the second time, a head injury sees Williamson to ground. Previously, ball shot from distance off his head. This time, Herrera.
Just hoping with those studs, this doesn't break skin on the back of the head for Williamson. This is extremely dangerous, borderline reckless. From Hector Herrera. My first time, still.
Gratefully, didn't appear to draw blood. Costa and Vines. Vines, the recent insertion 8 minutes ago. He'll trot away. Acosta will take the set piece. Acosta, 26 years old, between the quarterfinal and the semifinal. The native Texan. Acosta falls in front. Zardes now. Ariola. Talavera makes himself as big as he can. Oriola's gone dashing into the net.
This is one looking back, Mike. How does it not end up in the back of the net? Zardes can't get a true touch on it. Comes right back out in front of him. Actually comes off the shoulder real close to the arm. And then Ariola. Right place, right time. But the recognition by Talavera. There is no margin for error here. Uses every bit of that 6'2" frame to make this save.
back up and moving. Same can be said for Ariola. The American fans have something to cheer for once more. It'll be Acosta. Header steered straight down. Came off of Hoppy.
Get away with a lot in this game. That's not one of them. No. Let's try to check the rule book. I was wondering if this was coming because Bizarro's been ready on the sideline for the better portion of 10 minutes.
Pineda among those coming off. Rodolfo Pizarro, who plays for Inter Miami in the U.S. Eric Gutierrez, who plays at PSV. And Jonathan Dos Santos takes leave. An incredibly emotional week, to be sure. Chaka Rodriguez. Funes Mori, ball bounces down, ricochets free out for a Mexican corner.
They strike that quickly. What a ball back across by Chaka. Look at all of the numbers for the United States closing down the threats that are constantly coming. Pizarro, the one who played the ball back to Hector Herrera in that fateful 99th minute. The game winner against Canada almost finds his name in the lights.
Crowd rises to their feet. Corona. Rajo got something on it. Ariola sees the run of Shaq Moore. Collides with Gallardo. Gallardo's going to check on him.
Tato Martino staying true to form with his substitution pattern outside of the move of Salcedo. Moreno in the first half. Captain going down with injury just prior to the halftime whistle. Injecting Gutierrez into the middle. Pizarro off of the shoulder. Funes Mori. The success that they had through him is actually quite interesting because it took a little bit of time to build into the game. They ended up switching sides. Started on the right to no avail. The pivot to the left was where he was at his best.
Corona, Williamson. And Williamson distraught. Of note, each team has used 3 subs. The U.S. has used 1 window. Mexico had to use 1 on Carlos Salcedo for the injured Hector Moreno. That was their second window. So Mexico can make 2 changes in 1 window. The U.S. 2 changes in 2. The crowd reaches fever pitch for the first time, truly. Williamson, an intriguing opening. Hoppy creates the space. Ran into Gutierrez. Well done by the referee. And now a free kick.
As the game has gone on, Hoppy has done a very good job in the one-on-one situations of creating space for himself. The problem that comes with that is the inclusion of more defenders into the equation. That is Mexico on the defensive front. We'll cut back inside. You beat the first one, that's fine, but to beat a second and a third and a fourth, it's a tall ask. Not usually attainable for any such player against a talented squad in Mexico. Friendly fire on the backside of this.
Hoppy, who plays at Shaka, back to his feet. $61,100 114 in attendance at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. A magnificent conclusion to this Gold Cup, played under the continued guise of a global pandemic. Gallardo, Pizarro, Alvarez. 10 minutes stoppage time at least to go. Pizarro, Sands, further from Herrera. The U.S. one loss in their last 18 games. It was a friendly away at Switzerland. Mexico had their moments of top form. A draw against Trinidad and Tobago in the opener certainly opened the door to questions, and they've largely answered them in the time since. They played a mile above sea level in Denver. Now they play 2,000 feet above the sea in Las Vegas. This first time hosting the Gold Cup final, Las Vegas has proven a tremendous host. The time of the essence to make your mark for both these teams. Away from Williamson. Well-driven ball. Corona. Corona leading. Funes Mori. Once again blocked. Williamson recovers. Poppy. But in goes Rodriguez. Herrera. Rodriguez. Corona. After the Vines intervention. Herrera. Diving header away. Rodriguez. Very deep right now. Drop off in respect when need be, but packing it in and just allowing too much movement from Mexico. There's so much space to work with, and you want to sit, you want to make it back, that's one thing, but just sitting all the way back and allowing that space to be occupied, totally unnecessary. You also wonder how long the front three of Hoppy Mm-hmm. Gioacchini appears next in for the U.S.
Probably for that man right there. Just a bit of reassurance on the sideline, waving him off. Busio going to join the attack as well.
These are the last two substitutions, barring extra time for the U.S. So Daryl DK among those that appear not to be in the plans tonight. Greg Busio, his 6th cap. Ariola off. He struck the post in the first half. He never did find the answer. Gioacchini in. His 8th cap. Born in Kansas City. Moved to Italy at 8 years old. Returned to the U.S. at 12. Time in the academy at Paris FC. Now he's playing in a Gold Cup final. Robinson. Hoppy will move off onto the right-hand side in the absence of Ariola and the inclusion of Gioacchini. May have overplayed his hand. Acosta. The only U.S. player to feature in every game of this calendar year. Rolled ahead 3v3. Ball for Funes Mori.
What a necessary step by Miles Robinson. He has been on another level this tournament. The return, the depth of center back, they need someone to step up and feel comfortable inside the likes of Brooks. He may not necessarily have moved his way into the starting equation. Certainly got a good shot for being involved in the conversation.
Corona saw Funes Mori. Gioacchini and Busio, the recent inclusions combined. Talavera off his line. The U.S. roll their pressure higher as we approach the 90th minute. It always felt like this game would go down to the very bitter end. Corona navigating by Vines. Lifts the cross. Steered back by Moore. Still Pizarro. Came off Roldan. Funes Mori wants a handball. Still now Herrera. And a stoppage in play here.
Handball.
Not a bad shout.
Shoulder, remember, it's the bottom of the armpit. It's close to the body. I've seen him called for less. Looked like there was some fan activity on the field. Stoppage. The replica World Cup. Good for you. To scale?
From what I can tell, no, where he has enormous hands. Martino looks on. Play continues now. Herrera. Met by Moore and Roldan. 3 added minutes. A goal in that time would surely see a champion crowned. Alas, no goal. We go to extra time. If that's not enough, the game of roulette on the Vegas Strip. Penalties. Roldan. Gioacchini drops back. And that's not it for Busio.
additions you put on a play-to-play. With all the changes that you've seen within this match, Pizarro coming on, Gutierrez, of course Salcedo, everybody else on the back line unchanged for Mexico, and they've had a lot of work to do themselves. Big reference to James Sands and Miles Robinson, Rajo, Gallardo, and Rodriguez.
Funes Mori from Pizarro. Pizarro's not done yet. Caught between the feet. Acosta, who joins the long list of players to have worn the captain's armband under Greg Berhalter that now features 15 in Berhalter's 34 games at the helm. Could it be Herrera a hero again? A collective groan and felt Mexico was on the precipice. Instead, precipice of extra time. The final whistle guarantees that now. 90 minutes not enough. Another half hour to go. And this Gold Cup final will go the distance. Acosta again. That was a similar ball.
We'll say this, when the United States has gone full-out press, they've been brilliant. When they send numbers, now the pressure is always there. Good stuff by Jazzy Zardes on the inside. We talked about that little change, jumping a little bit deeper. But when they all-out press, every single person coming forward, it has become impossible for L3 to play out.
Five shots in this match, 60% belong to Mexico. Mexico has used 3 winner subs, so they can still make changes here in extra time. The U.S., 3 windows, 5 subs. They have 1 additional window, 1 sub remaining. Turner becomes the 15th American captain under Greg Berhalter, it turns out. Hoppy. More. Alvarez. Flick forward, Gutierrez. Funes Mori lobbing. It's over the crossbar. Would it truly have ever counted?
Flag delayed, but up. Left shoulder, it's close. But no cigar for Funes Mori. You see on the far side at the tail end of it, linesman does raise the flag. Watch that separation between the boys on the back line for the United States. Got to be real careful here for James Sands and Miles Robinson.
Pushing into the back of Rodriguez, who truly broke out in the most recent Mexican domestic season at Club Leon. Won the title, 26 appearances over the 2 short seasons. Came through Pachuca, never truly broke in. Debuted for the national team earlier this year. In steps Sands. Gutierrez. Another long ball. This will find Gallardo. Gallardo nearly out of real estate. Funes Mori. Funes Mori chipping for the corner. How much pressure reigns on Rogelio Funes Mori?
The only answer at this point in time, given the tournament that you've had. You find just one more for country. Record breaker at the club level for what seems to be an eternity, Mike. Does that translate for Tata? Get now. Overlapping run from Gallardo that's got 101 minutes on his legs. Challenging someone like Shaq Moore. He's got a little bit more left in the tank.
About 25 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Same argument on the left side for Van Vine. Still trying to keep the game in front of them. You'll notice that spatial marking more prevalent than some of the man-on-mans that you can see at certain points in time for the United States.
Notably in pressure, Zardes appears to be running more fluidly now. Rolled on. Gutierrez plays for the major Dutch side, PSV.
Respectfully to Mexico and how they are building right now. The United States is just giving them the ability, and all these 50-50 balls, Mike, with the pressure coming. And the long balls come back over the top, whether it's trying to be won underneath Jazzy Zardes on the second chance or when they go direct up over the top. Mexico's just hungrier. They're stepping in and winning those balls. The second run, the third run. How bad do you want it? L3 answering that call.
Zorro rode the challenge. Now Zardes checking back. Knocked down by Salcedo. Sands. Colorado Rapids from time to time. Sam Vines into the inside. Busio recognizing it, taking the space out on the left flank. Couldn't work it through it. He's in the hole for the United States should they choose to attack in that manner. Busio. Poppy. Curious it is, the decision to go to goal here. Why not pull this back? You've still got help at the top of the box from Busio. You've got to run on the back post, bring it over on your left foot. Feel that pain. And set the tempo all night. Sprays this out of the reach of Chaka Rodriguez.
Starting to get an idea that some of these boys are a little bit more tired than the start of the game, Mike. Baby steps is probably putting it most appropriately. A little bit more trouble with the build. Punch is not as clean when it's on the fresh legs of your substitutes to really step up and get a stranglehold of matches like this.
First period of extra time concludes no closer to a winner. Matt Turner head to the opposite end. The sun very much up. Temperatures closing to triple digits when this day began. And inside Allegiant Stadium, see the torch dark on this night. In scenic Las Vegas, the mountains peering over top. Scoreless into the second period of extra time in this Gold Cup final.
The ideas from both teams really disappearing. The nature that was goodwill in form of beautiful build-up runs, overlapping interchange between both of these teams in the first half and really into the, I make the argument, 65th minute. Since then, form is slowly starting to dissipate. Can't say that about the venue though. Great atmosphere. See the crowd.
So often Gold Cup finals, the Rose Bowl, Soldier Field, have occurred at these massive outdoor venues, and the overhead shots so often show you everything, whereas here tonight you're peering through the windows from outside. They everybody wishes they were inside right now. Now, Mexico has gone to penalties more recently than the U.S. The semifinal of Nations League through against Costa Rica. The last 3 Mexican national team appearances in a penalty shootout have all been against Costa Rica. The 2009 Gold Cup semifinal, the 2019 Gold Cup quarterfinal, and the Nations League semifinal. They advanced all 3 times. The last time they were ousted from a knockout game in penalties, the 2005 Confederation Cup semifinal against Argentina. The changes coming from what appears to be a Mexican side. And we'll see Gilberto Sepulveda on. Have to give it to Salcedo. These were not enviable circumstances to enter, but he did the job. Second extra time period begins in Las Vegas. 15 minutes to a crown. 4 to penalties. Sepulveda and Polito now mark 6 subs for Mexico. They're tapped out. Solidified his position going into World Cup qualifying.
Certainly wasn't a bad tournament for him, was it? You understand that into the second 15 minutes of extra time here. Polito is one of the boys who had a say in that fateful win over Costa Rica in the semifinal matchup. 2 included in 6 penalty takers tonight that could have a chance.
Zardes, big rebound and somehow ripped back in by Talavera. Anything less, the U.S. could have been ahead.
Hard to believe that he's able to dig this deep and get around the outside from the run. But with Chaca Rodriguez struggling just as the striker is, he's got a little bit left in the tank. Dig down deep, turn the corner, put something on frame, almost spills it up.
Rodriguez got it wide and full rolled on. The touch sees this over the end line. Corner, Mexico. Countries met in the Nations League final that was decided in extra time. It was a penalty, not a shootout. Pulisic decided it from the penalty spot by his lonesome in extra time. How will this Gold Cup be defined? Herrera. Zardes holding on to his head.
Well, brain freeze. It's a double whammy there. Challenge on the right temple, the ball on the left.